Aloha! Thank you for joining me for this special episode called Ulili E. Here we are still on the Ogasawara Islands in Japan, specifically the island of Hahajima. And we're here at an elementary school teaching 2 hula workshops. You can see the students are reading us. We're going to be teaching Kaimana Hila, which was an original song created by my grandmother. It's not to be confused with the traditional Kaimana Hila song. And the other song is called Ulili E, which is a traditional song. However, this is a special episode because we're going to be showcasing the hula instrument called Ulili, which is rarely seen. And it's special because I made these ulilis for the students there on Hahajima and the other island called Chichijima. After this video, you can see how I put together these ulilis and maybe make them for yourself. Again, thank you for joining me and enjoy the video. Aloha.
Kia imakalai,
Kia imakalai,
aoke kaha,
aoke kaha,
oia kai ua,
oia kai ua,
lana mali e.
lana mai
Alright, so half of you sing Ulili E or Ulili.
Worked in the chorus.
And then we switch. Next one sing Ulili Hoi. And then you can sing the other part, yeah? Okay. So this side Ulili E and Ulili Hoi. Right?
So when they say Ulili E, we sing Ahahana, Ulili E Hehene. Yeah, be careful.
Good, Kenya.
Yeah.
Cut. Because you have to take all apart.
Yeah.
Comfortable. So, that one and then let it go. Pull and let it go. So the harder you pull, the faster the rope goes in, yeah?
So they're adjusting the string now.
Yeah.
Little bit more, everyone. Yumi-san. Yeah, there you go. Working better now.
Alright, so with that, we're going to be jumping into how I made the ulilis. First, get some coconuts. Now it takes 3 coconuts to make 1 ulili, so you need at least 3. You want to husk a little bit extra just in case you mess up some in the process. Next, find a coconut husking device. I have here a pick. And you just shove it in the ground and use a sharp end to start husking the coconut. So the technique here for the coconut husking is you're just putting the pike down into the coconut husk and ripping it off. And you do that going around the coconut until you have all of the husk off. A smaller coconut is a little bit harder. There's not too much husk to grab onto, but a smaller coconut is perfect for the handle part of the ulili. So once you've taken off the husk of the coconut, you can start the other process, which is sanding and cleaning the insides. And there you go.
What's going on, everybody? Aaron here. So we just finished husking the coconut, and I just wanted to go show you some of the tools that I used to make the coconut. So I thought I had a version that was half done that could help you with some of the explanations here. So let's get right to it. Making the ulili the process is simple, but it's time consuming, and the most time consuming part is prepping the coconut. Everything else works out pretty quick, such as putting it together, tying it up with the string, drilling the little holes and all that. But this part takes kind of a while. So I made six ulilis. Each ulili takes 3 coconuts. So you have to do this process for all 3 coconuts. I kind of cheated, not really cheated, it was kind of part of the plan. But I used coconuts from another set of ulilis, which was my grandmother's, because they were smaller coconuts and they fit in the hand perfectly. So that took place of one of the coconuts in one ulili. And it was special too because the ulilis that we gave away, the 6, was grandma's ulilis, and so part of her legacy lives on through those instruments with those that we left the ulilis with. So, in which case you would have to clean out 3 coconuts. Typically, you would just leave the coconut and let the insects eat out the meat and all that. That's what takes the longest, is cleaning out the meat. So, first step was to husk the coconut, preferably an older one, not young coconuts because the shells would be too soft. You want an older coconut, one that's that would start sprouting a new plant, like you see here, but it died off, and it's the ones that you want. It's the one that the insects start eating out. They get in there to eat out all the meat, and they do most of the work for you. Some of the coconuts that we have, is it this one? Another one. It's all eaten out. And it's perfect, but it was a little bit too old, and the shell was a little too soft. So if you try to sand it down, it's just gonna have like a white tinge to it, and maybe prone to cracking. So these are the coconuts, and I'm gonna show you some of the tools that I used to clean them out, or to start cleaning them. So the first tool that I used is this file. So after you husk the coconuts, you go ahead with the file, and this will just rough sand it down to the bare shell. It'll take off all this hair and stuff, not hair, but the fibers. Once you get down to the bare shell, you don't want to go any further because you're going to create deep grooves with the file. You just want to do it light enough that you get most of that hair off. Okay, so once you get that done, you have this shell exposed. Once you get that rough filing down, don't go anymore because you'll start scarring the shell. You want to use a sander, palm sander preferably. They're pretty cheap and affordable. If you don't have one, you can hand sand them too. Doesn't take that long. You want to go with a rough sandpaper, preferably a 60 grit. It's very rough and it's perfect for getting down to the grooves that you cause with the file. Okay, so after you're done with your sanding, you want to make the holes for the coconuts. So again, go with the file and then the 60 grit or 80 grit sandpaper, and that will take away the lines from the file and some of the fibers that are sticking out here. After such, you want to go ahead with the drill and drill out the holes here. You want to get a drill bit, a 3/4 inch drill bit that will match a 3/4 inch dowel, which you can purchase. I mean, you could probably make one if you're good at turning wood, but 3/4 inch dowel you can get at a hardware store. But if you can't, then maybe you can make one. It has to be straight or your ulili will be wobbly. So the 3/4 inch drill, you want to drill it right in the middle between the three eyes, right there, and on the very bottom right there. Sometimes some coconuts are kind of off, so you want to try to find a middle for the coconut where it's kind of balanced in a way. So if you're drilling more on this side, and you'll drill more on the opposite side, say about there, for your holes. Once you got the holes done, taking out the meat, that's the part that takes a while. So the main tool that I've used is this one here. But before I go any further, let me explain the power tool that I'm using is actually called a drill press. So the drill press is a machine where you put the bit into the drill and you pull down the handle and it makes straight up and down drills. You don't have to. You can do it with your hand, but it might be uneven. You might hurt yourself. I find it a lot easier and safer using a drill press, especially with this process. So cleaning out the meat. Once you've done your hole, you want to go ahead and find some kind of tool that's 3/4 inch wide that can fit through the hole and you can clean out the meat, whether it be a wire brush type or something to clean out the meat from the inside of the coconut shell. You can't crack the coconut open, clean out the meat and glue it back together. It's going to fall apart over time. So you have to do it this way. So once you drill your hole, this is a rounded router bit. So it's a rounded router bit. That's what I'm using, and it works out very well. So the bit is only this long, but you have to get into the coconut all the way through. So I got this shaft here. It's an extension, and it's specifically made for bits that are rounded. And these are screws right here, 2 screws, uses Allen wrench key to tighten down and bite down on the bit, on the round bit. So it's not the hexagon bits, it's a round bit. So if you find this shaft, this is very important if you're going to be using the drill bit, the drill press or drill method of getting that meat out. Once that's done, basically you stick the drill bit in the hole and you'll grind out the sides of the wall, turning it back and forth, going up and down, just to get that meat off of the coconut inside the wall. And once that's done, all the coconut shreds would fall out the bottom of the hole. You shake it out, blow it out. Sometimes there'll be pieces in there that'll be stuck, so I just go with This is a file too, and I just stuck it in the hole, trying to push it out the bottom hole, using a knife to kind of cut at some of the bigger chunks, the loose chunks. I tape it up so that I can protect from cutting the coconut, and also from cutting yourself as well. You can take that off later. That's about it. Once you get the coconut clean, then you'll be able to put the whole lily together. Add the seeds. Don't forget the seeds before you glue it down, and then you can make your ulili. Okay, thank you and enjoy. Aloha.